Guys, I'm starting to lose circulation. Can someone let me down? You guys, hey, you forgot about me. God!
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Do you want me to talk to you or talk to the camera? My name is Jesse Driftwood, and I make internet videos. And today, we are trying to make a video where I am Tom Cruise.
Obviously, you could have done this whole video with AI, so why not just use that?
It's no fun.
This is about to be the most Old Man Yells at Clouds video I ever made. When I was your age. There's a lot of online chatter right now about these AI generated photo and video models, and this makes sense. They're kind of everywhere and they're improving so rapidly. But I also think they're having unintended consequences that I don't feel very good about. I got into making videos seriously around 2008, 2009, at the dawn of the DSLR revolution. And at that point, that shift felt a lot like what the shift towards AI video is feeling like right now, because it really lowered the barrier of entry when it came to making high quality video. For the first time, this meant average, everyday people had access to tools that let them tell stories, that let them make beautiful, shallow depth of field, Hollywood-esque videos. And much of my career today, I owe thanks to that DSLR revolution, back in 2008. And so I feel this temptation to want to give the benefit of a doubt to AI video generation in a similar type of way. There are people coming up, they've never had access to these tools, and they're finally gonna be able to take the creative ideas in their head and put them out into the world. But there's a problem here, because AI video isn't just stripping away some of those barriers to entry, it's stripping away everything I love about filmmaking and all the reasons I got into this in the first place.
So here's the thing, I had a much different idea of what YouTube video I'd be making today, but then I looked over at the main warehouse studio, and Jesse is putting so much effort into this reel that he's making that I figured we should just do a behind the scenes video on what he's doing, because it's far cooler than what I'm doing today. We'll get back to this some other time. His is far more interesting. Jesse, while you're working, just what are you doing today?
Yeah, we're making a quick little Instagram reel, but we had this idea of trying to lower me from the ceiling, like Mission Impossible style. And we're just trying to figure out how to make that work. We've got a skyjack, we've got some safety harnesses, ropes, and an ability to rotoscope. And if all goes well, it'll look like I'm a super agent or whatever.
How did you contribute to the Mission Impossible shot?
I think I came up with it. It was one of those things where whenever Jesse's in a bit of a pinch with a last minute idea, he'll always be like, hey, what's a good idea? And then, I'll just say the stupidest thing I can think of. And in this case, they were talking about doing a desk setup thing. And in my mind, one of the most famous sort of desk setup epic things was the Mission Impossible shot where he lowers in. And we had just helped rig up a descender rig into the hole where we put a camera going down using the scissor lift. So it was kind of fresh in my mind. And I was like, I bet we could put a person on that, especially a Jesse. Ready?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
Going up?
Oh yeah.
So I heard the skyjack moving and a lot of laughter. So I was like, okay, what is going on here? So afterwards, I came out there. Christoph was carrying these piles of wood out. And I was like, oh no, what is this? And I start seeing them getting assembled and wedged in place. And beyond that, it was like a hook on there for Jesse getting rigged up on this. I'm like, oh no, this is going to be fantastic and horrible and an OSHA violation.
Zach just realized a fatal flaw in our setup, which is that if we try and take the skyjack any higher, it's just gonna hit the old heating pipes. And so we actually can't suspend me from this right now. So we have to shift everything probably forward.
But only a foot.
Is it only a foot? Okay, so we got to shift everything like a couple feet.
I do have a background working in grip department, so as soon as I saw the absolute nonsense that was going on with the wood being wedged in place, I was like, I have to contribute to this in some sort of safe capacity. So I tied some knots around that to help keep the wood in place so that Jesse didn't die.
Well, because of how janky this setup was, I felt like I did need to stress test it myself. And I think I weigh a little bit more than Jesse, so I was like, if it can handle me, it can probably handle Jesse, even though he's more squirmy.
Just do it slow. So I need something on my feet.
Can you talk about the photo?
No.
This video is brought to you by Storyblocks. And if you are a video editor or really anyone looking to make content online, then I'm gonna give you 3 reasons that you might wanna check them out. Where do I put these? Oh, yeah. Do you know that feeling when you're nearing the end of an edit and you realize that there's something missing? Maybe it's an establishing shot of the city or a close-up of coffee being poured to help set the scene. Well, this is where having a solid stock library is going to save you. Storyblocks has an enormous library of HD and 4K clips that are gonna help you tell your stories. And the best part is, there isn't a single AI generated clip in that library. Everything you see is 100% human made. And in this day and age, that's something that's becoming increasingly rare, and I think it's something worth supporting. Beyond just that library of visual stock media, they also have an enormous library of royalty-free stock music and sound effects that are gonna really help tie the entire edit together. And on top of that, they also have a library full of motion graphic elements. So this is things like titles, transitions, animations, things that are gonna really help put those finishing touches on your edit. You get access to all of this and so much more as part of your Storyblocks subscription. And right now, if you use my link, you're gonna get a special offer of 15% off any annual plan. So click the link down in the description or go to www.storyblocks.com/Jesse Driftwood to find out more. Thank you, thank you. Click the link, type the link, thank you. Okay, that's great. Then I don't ever really need to be much higher than this. I kind of want my body to cross past the windows.
I don't think you should be higher than that either.
One thing that was really important is trying to make sure that, like, first and foremost, the story of the shot is really obvious, right? So I'm gonna be descending from the ceiling and it's a pretty short shot. And if your eyes have to like look around and try and figure out what's happening, it's not an effective shot, right? So we knew like we needed the thing I'm descending to and me descending to be super obvious in the frame without it feeling like we're on stage in theater, right? The idea was to have my body pass by those windows. That way, if nothing else, the changing of light in that corner is gonna like draw your eye up there right away.
All right, I got the mouse. Get me out of here.
And then the other thing is we made sure there was both light on the desk, but also that the computer itself is lit. There's this, and these things are coming together, and that kind of tells the whole story of the shot. You don't want so many things to look at that the audience isn't necessarily processing like, this is Mission Impossible. Good job, good job. No, for sure.
Working with everyone here is very fun because I think we all like to problem solve and it's like very satisfying. But then we also, I think, are really good at creating problems. Jesse, probably more than anybody, is like, how can I make this a really difficult problem to solve? And then we do.
Hold on, stop. No, stop. The idea will be gone. No, I accidentally opened.
Well, the best thing about doing this in person rather than doing it with AI is you have the option of experimenting and trying things out. AI, you're just like prompting mindlessly, hoping that it gives you the thing that you're looking for. This, you have an idea and like 3 or 4 people can contribute to this idea. And maybe where you wanted to start and maybe where it ended are 2 entirely different things, but your end result will probably be better with the contribution of multiple people to it.
You know, I can have like a harebrained idea like that, and instead of just people just being like, that's dumb, everyone just sort of gets on board and helps make it happen. And then you have somebody like Jesse, who just with his physical comedy takes it to 11. We're really lucky that everybody kind of brings their own sauce to it. So like none of us would be able to do this if we were just on our own. We really rely on everybody here contributing in some way to make it happen, and that's pretty special.
Anything that you can dream of, you can now generate. But outside of like the initial novelty, are you like, this is amazing? Like, I'm not.
With the landscape that we're in right now with AI videos, and the landscape of people getting annoyed, I guess, with the amount of ads that YouTubers are creating. I just thought it would be a really unique opportunity to show what goes behind the scenes of a Jesse Driftwood Instagram reel that might be a lot different from a lot of other creators.
I like the filmmaking part of it. And it feels like a lot of what AI can do or whatever, it's like taking away the parts that I want to do. I want to dangle from a skyjack. I want to look at a scene and figure out how do we light it? How do we move the camera? How do we move our subject? That's what I like about filmmaking. So to let AI do it just seems so counterproductive.
Shit. Okay, well that's that shot.